Or, you know what, honestly, this isn't a bad time to go over my UI. So, currently the UI that I'm going to be running this season, I know everybody is using like Toxie UI, something like that, or some variation of that. I am currently using the Q UI, which was previously Quasi UI. I'm using the I am using the so here's my list of add-ons first of all. So I've got Light Mount M plus timer. That's I choose to use a separate M plus timer add-on instead of the built-in one to QUI. But QUI does have one built-in, which is nice. Cursor trail. That's this this trail that you see leaving behind on my cursor. That's always nice. I use mask. That's what I use to skin my action bars and stuff like that, and my bags, to make the icons look how I want. Let's see. I've got Raider IO, self-explanatory. Routes, that's for mining and stuff like that, and herbal, like gathering and stuff like that. Not really relevant to the UI right now, though. Details, I'm using that. It's mostly a skinning add-on now than anything for the default Blizzard damage meters, but I have them transparent. I like it that way. Teleport menu, that's a nice little quality of life add-on. It adds a little all your teleport stuff right here to your pause menu. So if you want to head back, you just got to hit that. I'm not going to do that right now though. Simulation crafts, that's for simming your character. Farm HUD, that's another gathering add-on. Housing reps, that's for building up reputation for housing. Blizz move, that's so I can move windows on my screen, like if I want to move this around or if I want to move the bag around, I'm not tied down to them being stuck to one spot like you would be with the default UI. Let's see. Trade skill master, that's for selling shit. I don't really use it that much though. TomTom, I don't use that much anymore. I use that more in classic. It's like a navigation add-on. Baginator, that is my go-to bag add-on, and to use that you need Syndicator, which is further down, I think, somewhere. Plumber needs an update. Syndicator's right here. But to use Baginator, you need Syndicator. Auctionator, all of the Baginator, Auctionator, Syndicator, all, and Platinator, which is my nameplate add-on. All made by a dude called Plus Mouse. Really great add-on developer. I love it. All of his add-ons that he makes. Dominoes, that's my action bar add-on that I use to make them the size that they are and all that shit. And like I said, I use masks to skin them. Dander's frames, that's my raid frames and party frames that I use. So if I pull up Dander's frames really quick. Okay. We got some updates on that. That's cool. So for party frames, test. I don't want to see them in combat. I want to see them static. So my party frames, I have them down here underneath my player frames, and I have them anchored to my player frame. So if, which my player frame is also anchored to the cooldown manager. I'll go over the cooldown manager stuff in a second on the QUI, which is the whole reason I use it. But if another icon gets added to this row, this will automatically scoot over, and then these are anchored to this, which automatically scoots them over with it. So that's nice. So let's disable that. And then for raid frames, I feel like raid frames are a little bit more personal with how people like them, but I have them over here. That's actually not where I like them. I don't know why they're there. Can I unlock that shit? Move them like here? That's better. I like them in the, like, visible, but not in the way. Lock. There we go. So raid frames off onto the side. Raid. I play a DPS and a tank, so like, it's really, raid frames aren't really that important to me. I don't play healer, so I don't really know how to set up a healer UI. Let's see. Chunky character sheet. That used to be a weak aura, but now it's an add-on. It gives you this this character menu. That's the way I like it. I like being able to have it big. I'm getting old. I need to have big text. I need to have a big window for my eyes to see. Let's see. Little Wigs, which in conjunction with Big Wigs is the timers add-on that I choose to use. You could also use DBM. I use Big Wigs and Little Wigs just out of habit. That's what I've used in previous seasons. I have no preference one way or the other. Loot Appraiser, that I like that little add-on. So it pulls up a little timer. So while you gather things, it'll count up the amount of gold that you've gathered and shit like that. It's nice. Nice little add-on for gathering. Leatrix maps that lets me like zoom in and shit on my map. I think that lets me zoom in. It does something with my maps that I like. I'm not sure, but that's why I like Leatrix. That's why I like Leatrix maps and Leatrix Plus as add-ons, because I don't really know what they do. Platinator, like I said, that's my nameplates add-on. I'll go over my nameplates as well. In the description, I might leave strings, like import strings for my my setup, just for the hell of it. And then QUI Community Edition. We'll go over that in a second. Mask LVUI, that's the preferred look that I have for Mask. Mythic Dungeon Tools, that's for like planning routes and stuff for M+. Narcissist, that's like a photo mode add-on. That's really all I use it for like making my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Leatrix Plus, that's like quality of life add-on. Alter Ego, that lets me track my alts for M+ and stuff. It looks a lot more filled out when the season's fully started and in swing. Oh, Chattinator, that's my chat add-on. Here, let me hide my camera really quick. So my chat add-on, that's how I have these chat boxes right here. I have little tabs that I can do. Makes it transparent. It's nice and minimal. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Syndicator, that's the other. That's like the syncing add-on for Baginator. Better Blizz Frames. I don't really use this add-on for anything other than making my pause menu smaller. That's all I use it for at this point. Because I used to use it to fill in the gaps in the middle of the add-on apocalypse that happened a couple months ago. And it did its job, but now I literally just use it to keep the menu smaller. If I notice that it causes any problems, it's to get in the boot. Or if I find a different use for it, then I'll continue using it. Decor Vendor, that just points out all the vendors for decor. Big Wigs, that's boss timers. Plumber is a quality of life add-on. The whole point of Plumber is that you don't notice what it's doing. Okay, so that's all the add-ons that I have. I might also add a list of the add-ons if you want to see that. So let me pull up QUI. So QUI used to be called Quasi UI. Quasi was a YouTube creator. A lot of people who play WoW know who Quasi is, but like Quasi was a YouTube creator who made UIs, like a UI set, like it combined a bunch of add-ons to make a UI and would give it out for free. Keep that in mind. So his UI looked more or less like this. Like I liked his UI. I used his UI all the time, and that's why I used this add-on to make this UI look essentially the same. And then I have like tiny little tweaks and customizations that I personally do. But beyond that, it's the same. What happened is when he was making an add-on, he decided to make it exclusive to his Patreon subscribers, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It rubbed me the wrong way too, honestly, because I wanted to keep using his UI, but whatever. And a couple add-on developers, I think LVUI and a couple other developers called him out for stealing a bunch of code. And instead of like defending himself or anything, he just fucking dipped. He dipped off the internet. He deleted all of his shit. Deleted his website. He deleted his YouTube channel. He bombed his Twitch channel. Everything is wiped off the face of the planet. You can't access his information unless you use like an archival website of some kind. You can't access anything. Which is insane. But the community decided to keep his add-on alive. Ironically for free, which is very funny, and I really like that. But when you first open the add-on, this this is what it looks like. It opens up this welcome screen. They've got a little Discord thing to post any problems that you have, anything like that. It gives you a good setup. And when you go through the basic setup, your UI is going to look mostly defaultly how this looks. So if you don't want to go through the import stuff and you just want to use the regular UI, like if you want to just use the welcome page to guide you through it, that should also basically just give you this exact thing that you see on screen for the most part. One specific thing that I do is I add these little things around my nameplate. A lot of people do this in their UIs as well, but it is not immediately noticeable or it's not immediately apparent what you're supposed to do for that. So for that, you're going to go to custom trackers. And then for this one, it's trinket and pot is what I have down here. Let me track my trinket slots here instead of on my cooldown manager. I'll change that in a second. But yeah, you can change that up as much as you want. I'm actually going to add a new bar, just new bar created. Yeah, reload your UI. It's a very well put together add-on. It was a little finicky when it first came out, I'm not going to lie, but it's really greased up. Greased up. I don't like that. I said that. It's really straightened up. It's really gotten its shit together. Let it reload. Reload. Bah. I think I broke it. There we go. All right, open up QUI. We want to go to the custom trackers. Tracker 2. So say I want to make a separate bar that's also going to go on my nameplate thing. You don't have to put it there. That's just where I choose to put it. Specifically to track my interrupts. So my interrupt, I'm playing on my DK, so I need Mind Freeze. We need Tracker 2. We're going to drag Mind Freeze onto there. Now there's a problem because I don't know where it is. That's okay. Because we're going to lock to player frame, top left. Oh, we need to enable the bar. And then there it is. And then also, we'll go over the cooldown manager section actually, because that's actually relevant. You'll see that there's a keybind right there. That's relevant later. Also the circle around my cursor, which also displays the global cooldown, which is a nice little quality of life thing. That's part of QUI. So the cooldown manager section is the main reason why I wanted this add-on. It also skins the player bar and the target bar in a way that I like. It basically looks like ElfUI, which I see why ElfUI got mad at Quasi for this. But anyway, the cooldown manager, which is this little section, the base Blizzard version, it's usable. It's not great though. A lot of people decide to skin it using multiple different add-ons. Cooldown Manager Centered is one that I know of. I don't know if they changed their name. But yeah, there's quite a few add-ons that so you don't have to use this add-on if you don't want to change your UI. This is just what I choose to use. Like I said earlier, Toxi UI is one that's really popular. It gets you a very similar looking UI. So if all you care about is something similar to this, you don't have to use this add-on either. But it's available on CurseForge. So the cooldown manager parts, so they use their own engine. I'm not sure what that means. But I've noticed since that came out, I haven't had any cooldown manager glitches, and it's been very, very nice. You can change the icons in the row. You can change the number of rows that you have. You can change all of the anchoring and stuff like that, which I'm not going to go into right now because it's really complicated and I don't fully understand it. Your utility row, you can have up to 3 rows of that. Very, very nice. Custom entries. This is one of the big things. So, for example, Raised Dead is not available on the default cooldown manager. Also, I don't know why. This needs... I'm trying... See, there are a couple bugs. I'm trying to change this slot to over here, but it's not working for some reason. But yeah, you can custom track things on your cooldown manager, which you cannot do with the default UI, which I need to get rid of these since I am now tracking them over here. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. So you just have to hit enter. So Raised Dead is not available to track on the default cooldown manager, but you can add it in here for custom entries. And then another reason why I specifically wanted the quasi UI version of the cooldown manager is because you can add the, I need to stop saying quasi UI, it's QUI. I wanted the keybinds on my cooldown manager. I wanted to be able to see those keybinds so it's easier for me to play different characters. I personally found that to be very important. Yeah, that's basically my UI for Midnights. It might change as things go on. But for the most part, this is what I like it at, and this is what I'm going to keep it at. Oops, that's the wrong button. But yeah. Like I said, I'll try to include some import strings if you want this UI for any reason.